The empirical results so far on this, so there are two sides of the motivation. One is basically through the empirical test, the other one is through the econometric. For the empirical test, the motivations are most of these country studies that I told you earlier that which test for volatility spillovers or volume volatility correlation. These are tested on the basis of mixture of distribution hypothesis and the sequential information arrival hypothesis. Both of these, we argue, are not applicable to individual securities. And there are a lot of reasons. That's a completely different subject matter, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. If anyone is interested in knowing about it, please talk to me after the presentation. So what we definitely think is that for individual securities, this volume volatility relation cannot be explained by MDH or SIH, but through market microstructure, we should be able to get a better sense of what these results are called. On that condition, Harris 1987, Jones 1994, we are not exactly volume volatility relation, but testing market microstructure theories in the volume volatility context. For example, Jones 1994 was the paper which said underlying volume volatility correlation is basically the idea about frequency of trade. So basically, the essence of volume volatility correlation is in the number of trades, and that also brought in basically the institutional literature for that reason. Immediately as an afterthought, because institutions seem to trade a lot more than individuals. There is a direct test of this volume volatility in the individual securities sense, and what they found is that volume drives volatility. On the other hand, Dusker 2009, it is still a working paper. I think one of the reasons why it is still a working paper and has been in the market for quite some time, for 3-4 years, because he comes up to the unfortunate conclusion that volatility drives volume, which is a very difficult thing to sell in the academic world. But what about the econometric motivation? Obviously, it starts with volatility estimation. GARCH, which is the most commonly used volatility models, is a whole array of it. But if you write all the GARCH variations, just the names like phi GARCH and Schwartz and all that itself will fill full page. So you can see that how many people are investing in that one. So GARCH, which is a very commonly used volatility model, it gives you an absolutely fantastic ex post fade, but very poor forecast. And all these different variations for that reason I've been telling you about, the only thing that they try is to improve forecast. One of the ways this improvement of forecast comes, an example of which would be Schwartz model, would be basically an out-of-model parameter that we use to differentiate between two GARCH regimes. Schwartz is switching GARCH, which is based on two different regimes. And this regime definition of the regime is an extraneous parameter that you put into the model. So if you really go that far to basically find out an extraneous parameter, looks like one of the best way to do would be to use volume. Because remember, volatility, what you are trying to do is to capture information flow. Why prices are changing. So any change is coming from if it is information flow, then the only other trading level information that you get is volume. So really speaking, if you're thinking of you're shopping for out-of-model parameters, volume looks like to be the natural candidate. So that's what I think the volume fits into the idea of volatility modeling. Multivariate extensions, again, Engel 2004, it is Nobel, American Economic Review publishes the Nobel lecture. And in that one it says that in fact return and volatility transmissions or spillover studies, the multivariate extension is one of the most promising aspects of GARCH. The problem with multivariate extension is arch is, you can think it's a two-stage square, which means in the volatility models when you're still doing a regression model, with lag patterns and things like that. Now, once you are doing it through lag volatility, then if volatility is stationary, then lag volatility is also stationary. But as soon as you import additional model parameters, the problem is that you have to check for stationary. That's a very big thing with multivariate time series analysis. So what do we do over since now? So we define an estimate volume and volatility, appropriate model for volatility, take stationary conditions, consider an appropriate model, and then test the relation. This is the roadmap. So we start with a model for volume, taking stationary for volume. But before that, a sample. 14 Chinese H shares, and this is the universe of samples, so don't tell me that it is too small. I cannot do much about it. If there are only 14 Chinese H shares, we have to take 14. Period from initial registration, somewhere from the 90s to up to about 2010, so long time series for each of those. Descriptive statistics, and it is daily prices from which you complete daily return. There are lots of tables I did not put in. Those are long tables, but some of the highlights from the tables are table 1, which gives you the descriptive statistic. You will see that the means and variances are identical, most of them. But it was other Dey and Wang. There is a first paper that we did, in which we showed that there are, even with the first two moments, being similar, identical. All later moments are hugely different, and so the distribution in general are quite different because of the higher moments. Minimum value, you will see that the left tail is basically heavier for H shares, and that's again builds up the skewness and the proportions. Number of observation and insight durations, so it gets. So this is the first thing about volume stationary. How do we know that something is stationary? So there is not a stationary can come. The main two forms can be different or trend stationary. If you we do an ADF test to find out there is no unit root, but that is not efficient. The alternative is not that it is trend. So it just says that it is not doesn't have a unit root. So ADF test we find no unit root. Then we do the KPSS, which basically does a direct test for trend stationary. Still, we are not out of the woods because there is question of fractional integration, which means it is not integer integrated, and so there can be fractionally problem. We will avoid all that, and basically we will fit because we found that it is approximately trend stationary, we will fit in a linear and a nonlinear trend, and that is our model for the